Throughout history, engineers have come up with numerous brilliant technological solutions, but in some cases, they have made serious mistakes. One of the most famous examples of these engineering mistakes is the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. The bridge was vibrating from the day of its completion, hence its nickname, Galloping Gertie. On one occasion, in winds blowing at a speed of 65 kilometers per hour, the bridge started to oscillate and twist along its longitudinal axis. Due to the structure of the bridge, air vortices formed above the deck, which caused it to twist slightly. Eventually, the rhythmical twisting and the resulting air vortices became synchronized, resulting in the formation of gradually stronger vortices and even more twisting. When the suspension could no longer withstand the extreme stress, the 200-meter-long central section of the bridge collapsed. The so-called Walkie-Talkie Skyscraper was built in London. During construction, it was discovered that the glass windows covering the southern facade of the building act like a concave mirror. At a specific position of the sun in the sky, the windows focus the sun's rays onto the neighboring street. The extremely high temperature, up to 110 degrees Celsius, affected several shop fronts, damaging their paintwork and shop windows. It also melted the plastic parts of many parked cars. In Shanghai, one of the buildings of the Lotus Riverside apartment complex collapsed, and the accident caused the death of a construction worker. Several days before the accident, heavy rainfall soaked the soil that had been excavated for the construction of an underground garage next to the building. The large pile of earth exerted great pressure on the soil on the northern side of the building, while on the southern side, the construction pit reduced the pressure. The great lateral pressure from north to south weakened the foundation of the building, and the concrete piles broke. The building fell over and ended up in the construction pit excavated for the garage. The most famous tower in the world is located in Pisa, Italy. Only 5 years after construction had started, the building began to sink due to its inadequate foundation. With the addition of further floors and the installation of 7 bells weighing a total of 10 tons, the building continued to tilt. By the time the building was closed in 1990, the tilt had reached more than 5 degrees. The tower was secured with steel cables, and around 40 cubic meters of soil were extracted from underneath its higher side. The remaining layers of soil were compressed and became more dense and solid. The tower's lean was eventually stabilized at 3.99 degrees. The John Hancock Tower is located in Boston and was designed to have 10,000 windows. However, soon after the building was constructed, the window panes started to shatter. Approximately 2,500 panes had fallen out, and the neighboring streets had to be blocked off, as large glass fragments could fall onto the pavement at any moment. Due to the thin chromium coating of the glass, the window panes heated up more than in previous models. This caused greater thermal stress inside the glass, and the panes separated from the lead insulation in several places. The mechanical stress caused by gusts of wind and temperature changes eventually led to the shattering of the glass. Due to unexpectedly high solar activity, which caused the upper layers of the atmosphere to become warmer and denser, the Skylab Space Station slowed down more than anticipated. It was evident that if these circumstances remained unchanged, the space station would enter a critically low orbit. Ground controllers attempted to reduce the altitude of Skylab's orbit so that the space station would splash down in the Indian Ocean. However, the space station burned up and disintegrated in the atmosphere, and its remaining fragments were dispersed over Western Australia instead of the ocean. As the fragments fell in a sparsely populated area, they caused no damage or casualties. The first full-sized circular monitor, the Novgorod, was a naval warship built in the late 19th century in Russia. One of its major design flaws was that when the guns were fired in the direction of the bow, the whole ship recoiled. In addition, even minimal adjustment of the gun barrels caused the monitor to rotate around its axis. Furthermore, the Novgorod's circular design reduced its maximum speed to half of the intended speed, as the hull's shape was hydrodynamically inadequate.
Even the brightest minds stumble. These stories remind us that every mistake is a lesson, sometimes one that reshapes history. If you found this video interesting or learned something new today, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel 3D Learning Lab to keep fueling your curiosity. Your support helps us keep creating high-quality, educational 3D content that brings knowledge to life. Want to test your understanding of this topic? Click on our Community tab and join today's quiz. And don't forget to drop a comment telling us which engineering mistake surprised you the most. We love hearing from you. Together, let's make learning visual, exciting, and unforgettable.